Hello everyone. In IQA series, today we are going to discuss questions from CAT 2022 second slot, and these are arithmetic questions. First question is based on time and work, and it says working alone, the time taken by Tanu and Manu to complete any job are in the ratio of 5:8:10. They accept a job which they can finish in 4 days if they all work together for 8 hours per day. However, Anu and Tanu work together for the first 6 days, working 6 hours 40 minutes per day. Then the number of hours that Manu will take to complete the remaining job working alone is. So this was a theta problem. We need to fill the answers. So let's try to understand first. As work is constant here, we are talking about the same work. What do we know? That time is inversely proportional to efficiency when work is constant, right? So for Anu, Tanu and Manu, time is given. We can find out ratio of their efficiency. What's the time taken by them? This is 5:8:10. So their efficiency, work of efficiency per unit time must be in the ratio 1/5:1/8:1/10. Now we can multiply all of these numbers by taking LCM of these numbers, which is 40, and that will give us ratio 8:5:4. So work done by these people will be in the ratio of 8:5:4 per unit time if we are talking about per minute or per hour or per day. So in that case, let's say Anu works 8 units work per hour, Tanu works 5 units and Manu works 4 units. What we can say about total work? So in that case, total work will be equal to 8 plus 5 plus 4 into, so 4 days if they work 8 hours per day. So this is per hour work into 8 into 4. This is equal to 17 into 32, which is equal to 544 units of work. Total work is 544 units. Now it says, however, Anu and Tanu work together for 6 days, working 6 hours 40 minutes. What is 6 hours and 40 minutes? 40 minutes is nothing but 2/3 hours. So this is 6 2/3, which is equal to 20/3 hours. So work done, what will be the work done by Anu and Tanu? This will be equal to, so total 13 units, 8 plus 5. For how many hours? 20/3 hours. And for how many days? 6 days. So this will be equal to 20 into 2, 40 into 13, which is equal to 520 units. So these two together works 520 units in total. So work remaining, what's the work remaining here? Work remaining will be 544 minus 520, which is equal to 24 units. And we know that work done by Manu is 4 units per hour. So time taken by Manu will be equal to, this will be 24 upon 4, which is equal to 6 hours. So then the number of hours that Manu will take, so a total of 6 hours. That's your answer. In the next question, it says Manu earns 4,000 rupees per month and wants to save an average of 550 rupees per month in a year. In the first 9 months, his monthly expenses was 3,500. So basically, he is saving only 500 rupees per month instead of 550 rupees. And he foresees that 10th month onwards, his monthly expense will increase to 3,700. So as per previous income, he will be able to save only 300 rupees. In order to meet his yearly savings target, his monthly earnings in rupees from the 10th month onwards should be. So basically, for 9 months, we know that he has saved 50 rupees lesser. So he has saved only money which is lesser than 450 rupees as per initial target. Now, for the last 3 months, he needs to save 3 into 550, which is equal to 1650 rupees. And in total, this is 2100 rupees, right? 2100 rupees he needs to save for last 3 months. So per month saving will be 2100 upon 3, which is equal to 700 rupees. Now it says that his monthly expense will increase to 3700, right? Monthly expense is 3700, so his earning must be 3700 plus 700 saving for last 3 months, which is 4400. And that is option B. That's your answer. Next question is based on mixture and alligation. It says there are 2 containers of the same volume. First container half filled with sugar syrup and the second container half filled with milk. Half the content of the first container is transferred to the second container, and then half of this mixture is transferred back to the first container. Next, half the content of first container is transferred back to the second container. Then the ratio of sugar syrup and the milk in the second container is, so basically lots of confusion. Transferred from first container to second, then half transfer from second to first, then again half transfer from first to second. Then we need to say the ratio. So basically what we are doing, whatever quantity, initial quantity is given, we need to take the half, then half, then half. So number we should take, instead of taking variable, we should take a number which must be a multiple of 2 into 2 into 2, which is 8, so that we can get integer value every time. So what we can do, let's talk about first container, container 1 and container 2. What's the ratio of sugar syrup? So sugar syrup is to milk, and in the second, sugar syrup is to milk. So initially in this container there is, let's say, 8 liter of sugar syrup and 0 liter of milk. In this case 0 liter of sugar syrup and 8 liters of milk. Now there is first transfer of half. If you transfer half of this sugar syrup, what do we get? We get 4 liter of sugar syrup here and then 8 liter of milk. Then what we are left here? We are left with 4 liter of sugar syrup and 0 liter of milk. Now what we need to do? Again we need to take half of this and we need to transfer it back. If we take half of this, so sugar syrup and milk will also come in same ratio. So we need to take half of sugar syrup. So 2 liter of sugar syrup and 4 liter of milk. If you add this will become 6:4. And what's remaining here is 2:4. Total quantity will always be 16, right? Now again we need to take half of this and we need to transfer it back to the container 2. So half of this 3 liters of sugar syrup, this will become 5 liters of sugar syrup, and 2 liters of milk, so this will become 6 liter of milk, and the remaining, this will remain 3 liters of sugar syrup and 2 liters of milk. Again 11 plus 5 is 16. Now question is the ratio of sugar syrup and milk in the second container. So this is straight away 5:6, as you can see. Our answer is option A. So a very easy question if you solve it taking some good values, some comfortable values. If you try to solve it using some variable, this could be a difficult question. So the next question is based on percentages and ratio. It says in an election there were 4 candidates and 80% of the registered voters casted their votes. One of the candidates received 30% of the casted votes, while the other 3 candidates received the remaining casted votes in the proportion 1:2:3. If the winner of the election received 2512 votes more than the candidates with the second highest votes, then the number of registered voters was. So what we can do, we can start with number of registered voters. Let's say registered voters is equal to 100x. So voter which casted their votes must be 80x. Now, out of these 80x, 30% casted in favor of one of the candidates. 30% of 80 is 24. So this will be 24x and the remaining will be 56x. Now, out of these 56x, votes are casted to the remaining 3 candidates in the ratio 1:2:3. 1 plus 2 plus 3, 6 partition we need to make of this, and they will be 56x by 6, and then other will be 56x upon 3, and then it will be 56x upon 2. So 1:2:3 ratio basically. Now the difference between two highest, definitely out of these 3 this is highest, which is nothing but 28x, and this is 24x. What's the difference? We can say 28x minus 24x is equal to 2512, or 4x is equal to 2512, or x will be equal to 6 and then 2 and then 8. So total number of registered voters we had taken is 100x, which will be 2800. So option D is correct. So the next question is based on averages. It says 5 students including Amit appear for an examination in which possible marks are integers between 0 to 50, both inclusive. We can take 0 and we can take 50. The average marks for all the students is 38, and exactly 3 students got more than 32. Very important information. It says if no 2 students got the same marks and Amit got the least marks among the 5 students, then the difference between the highest and lowest possible marks of Amit is. So what will be total? Total marks achieved by these 5 students will be 38 into 5, which is equal to 190, right? Now, let's take those 5 students are A, B, C, D and E, and in increasing order, okay? All the values are distinct, so definitely there will be order where A, Amit, is least. So if we try to find the maximum marks scored by Amit, what we need to do? If you want to maximize the score of Amit, you need to minimize the rest. Now, these 3 must have gotten more than 32. So rest 2 for B, we can take maximum as 32, right? And in that case, we need to take minimum these 3 possible, right? But that doesn't matter much, because in that case, maximum A can get is 31. Now, how do we confirm that this 31 is correct? So if we subtract 190 minus 31 plus 32, which is equal to 63, we get 127. Now, sum of these 3 is 127. We know that sum of these 3, maximum it's possible is 50 plus 49 plus 48, which is 147. So this 127 is lesser than 147. So it could be anything that sum up to 127, more than 32. So maximum marks for Amit is 31. How do we find the minimum marks for Amit? So to find the minimum marks for Amit, we can maximize the marks for others. What will be the maximum marks for Amit? It will be 50, then 49, then 48. But maximum marks of B can be only 32. So the remaining will be, this will be the minimum marks achieved by A. What's this value? Again, 147 plus 32 is 147 plus 32, 179. So in that case, the difference 190 minus 179 will give us 11. So minimum marks achieved by Amit must be 11. So it says what's the difference between these two? So the difference will be 20. And that's why our answer is option C. Little tricky question. We need to keep this in mind that these 3 marks are greater than 32. And in that case, marks of B could be maximum only 32. Otherwise, It's a moderate level question. Next question is based on simple interest. It says Mr. Pinto invest 1/5 of his capital at 6%, 1/3 at 10%, and the remaining at 1%. Each rate being simple interest per annum. Then the minimum number of years required for the cumulative interest income from these investments to equal or exceed his initial capital is. So once again, the fractions that I can see here is 1/5 and 1/3. So we need to take value as total investment, something which is multiple of 15. So instead of x, if you take that, it would be very easier to solve this. Let's take total amount is 150. What will be 1/5 of this? 30. What will be 1/3 of this? 50. And what will be rest? So this will be 70. So, and the interest rate for the corresponding values, this is 6%, this is 10%, and this is 1% here. What will be the simple interest per annum for these values? 6% of this will be equal to 1.8. 10% of this will be 5, and 1% of this will be 0.7. So a total interest that we are getting is 7.5 per year. Now if we take that for n years, we receive this interest. This must be greater than equal to initial investment, which is 150. So in that case, n must be greater than equal to 20. In the question it says minimum number of years. So number of years minimum will be 20. This was a theta problem where you need to fill the answer. So the next question is based on time, speed and distance. It says two ships meet mid-ocean and then one ship goes south and other ship goes west. So mid-ocean, one ship goes west and other ship goes south, like this. Now, both traveling at constant speed, 2 hours later, they are 60 kilometers apart. So the distance between them, this distance is 60 kilometers after 2 hours, right? If the speed of one of the ship is 6 kilometers per hour more than the other one, then the speed in kilometer per hour of the slower ship is. The speed of one ship is x, other will be x plus 6. Now they are traveling for 2 hours, so this is the distance traveled by them. So we can use Pythagoras theorem here. We can say 2x whole square plus 2x plus 6 whole square should be equal to 60 square. Right. So in that case, we can say this will be 4x square plus 4x square plus this will be 1248x plus 144. This is equal to 3600, or 8x square plus 48x minus 3456 is equal to 0. We can divide by 8. So this will be x square plus 6x minus this will be 4 times 2, 5, 3 times and then 2. This is equal to 0. Now we need to break 6 in 2 parts such that product is 432. How can we do that? What is 432? 432 is equal to 24 into 18. So that we can do very easily. X square plus 24x minus 18x minus 432 is equal to 0, or x plus 24 into x minus 18 is equal to 0. X is equal to minus 24 is not possible. So x will be 18 kilometers per hour. So option B is correct. So we can solve it like this, or what we can do, we are aware of some triplets, right? 2x, 2x plus 12 and then 60. This is a Pythagoras triplet. So what we can say, if you are aware of some triplets like 3, 4, 5, 5, 12, 13 and rest of them, then if we check for 3, 4, 5, if this difference is 1, this is 5 times of 1. And same is happening here. This difference is 12, then this value is 12 into 5. We can easily compare that. This is a triplet of 3:4:5 ratio. So if this is 12 into 5, this must be 12 into 4, which is 48, and this must be 12 into 3, which is 36. So 36, 48 and 60. 2x is equal to 36, x is equal to 18. Really nice method to solve this one. You can avoid using equations here. Next question is based on averages. A very good question. It says the average of a non-decreasing sequence of n numbers a1, a2, a3, an is 300. If a1 is replaced by 6a1, the new average becomes 400. Then the number of possible values of a1 is. So what's this series? Series is a1 is less than equal to a2, which is less than equal to a3, and so on till an. This is what we call a non-decreasing series. Sum of all these values is given a1 plus a2 up to an. So average is 300, sum will be 300n. And it's also given that if we replace a1 by 6a1, then the average becomes 400, or sum will become 400n. Now if we calculate this, from here we get 5a1 is equal to 100n, or a1 will be equal to 20n. What could be the value of n? So n is a natural number, n is number of terms, so n could be 1, 2, 3, up so on. What could be the maximum value of n? So maximum value of n will be achieved when all of these values are equal, right? So 20n plus 20n plus 20n, if we take this value is 21, next value will be 20n, then next value will be 20n. So let's keep all the values minimum, then all the values will be equal to a1. In that case, we get the maximum value of n. So 20n plus 20n plus 20n, this should be equal to 300n. So in that case, we get maximum value of n, which is equal to 15. If n is 15, we get a1 is equal to 300. If n is 14, we get a1 is equal to 280. And similarly, we can go till 1. In that case, a1 will be equal to 20. But as you can see, if there is only one term, then the average will be same as the sum. So in that case, this should have been 300. Now this is not equal. 20 is not equal to 300. That means we cannot take n is equal to 1. What will happen if we take n is equal to 2? For example, if we take n is equal to 2, a1 will be equal to 40. So a1 plus a2 will be equal to 300 is average. So 300 into 2, which is equal to 600. But 6a1 plus a2 will be equal to, average is 400. So this will be equal to 400 into 2, which is equal to 800. Now subtracting this, we get 5a1 is equal to 200, or a1 is equal to 40 and a2 will be equal to 560. Now you can see this verifies that a1 is equal to 40 and a2 is equal to 560. So this is possible. And same will be possible when n is equal to 3, when n is equal to 4, till when n is equal to 50. But it's not possible when n is equal to 1. So how many different values? For all the different values of n, from 15 to 2, we get different values of a, right? So 14 different values of a1 are possible.